Firstly, as a disclaimer, not all information contained in this video will be accurate on final release, as the update is still in early design phase. Hello, and welcome to another video on the Skyblock 1.0 design threads. This video will cover the second design thread, which is all about a new concept called Skyblock Levels and private islands. Let's get into it. The first section in this thread covers private islands. The admins state that almost every Skyblock update has added content outside of the private islands, and nowadays they're becoming a lot more prevalent as players establish farms and much more. As a result of the neglect they've experienced, private islands will finally be receiving an update in Skyblock 1.0. In this part of the thread, the admins go on to talk about some of the features they would like to implement, including the addition of new customization options to the islands, new special mobs that will be waiting for your return to your island, as well as a few occasional events. This is very interesting and it's something that is definitely needed, as a private island is kind of a dead space within Skyblock, where the only thing being done there is farming. Private islands aren't even used for storage now, because there is so much space in our Skyblock menu with backpacks and the ender chest. Now, the next section of the thread talks about a new Skyblock concept called Skyblock Levels. The admins stated that at the moment, the best way for players to describe their progress through the game is their skill average, net worth, or weight. They go on to say that these methods aren't always precise and skill average isn't unlocking anything. It isn't really official and it only presents a portion of the game, and therefore that they want to make the concept official and enhance it. The admins go on to say that Skyblock Levels would encompass every part of the game, and similarly to skill average, progress won't be gained on every action. Instead, players will acquire XP on specific milestones. Examples of the milestones include leveling skills, completing quests, bestiary milestones, beating a Slayer boss for the first time, and any other instance of importance in Skyblock. The admins continue on saying every Skyblock level will unlock meaningful perks or gameplay elements. Some examples of these perks and gameplay elements include early levels would serve as a learning curve, unlocking things like the bank, accessory bag, bazaar, community center, etc. Most levels would unlock content such as private island, progression, special minions, and perks such as extra minion slots. Throughout the thread, the admins continue to explain that they want to add a level of progression to the game and add more of a learning curve to Skyblock. They state that Skyblock Levels will help show your progression within the game and make sure people aren't only looking at skills. The admins state that due to the system including parts of the game that can almost never be finished, such as the bestiary, it would allow people of similar points, such as two extreme late game players, to still be able to differentiate themselves. The admins say that they want to give an alternative to skills. They do say that skills will be the fastest way to level your Skyblock level, but if someone prefers to do something else, they'll still be able to gain XP from it. To give us more context on the thread, the admins have given us some examples of changes you might see implemented in 1.0. Some of the proposed implements include an optimization of placement of the minions and new types of minions, which will be covered in a future thread, in addition to Skyblock Levels, which will be introduced and be able to be leveled with significant milestones in the game. Skyblock Levels will reward players with perks as long as many new gameplay elements on the private island. A few examples of the proposed implements are new types of mobs that will appear on your private island, a new NPC and events that will occasionally visit, new minion types, and the ability to automate certain features on the island, and much more. That's it for today's thread. This update just looks better and better with every piece of information released. Make sure to stay tuned for our next video on the minions and collections thread. See you next time. Bye.